Okay, this is the situation at the end of the second turn of the third age. Now, the most important thing that's probably happened here is if you have a look at Germany now, is with the 30 Years' War started. Now that's really weird because it's not going to play out anywhere near the way it did historically, because the main Protestant powers aren't able to intervene. You've got Denmark, who's a dynamic NPR, so they can't come to the rescue of the Protestant Union. Sweden, they can't either because they're just a standard NPR. Bohemia is actually part of Poland, so they're not going to get involved. France is a bot, so it might get. See, as a historical French player, I would take advantage of this and knock off part of Germany, because the Holy Roman Empire, Emperor Austria, is going to be really busy trying to stop prestige losses for this war. Poland's also a bot, so they can't really reliably interfere. You've got Ottoman Empire. They could take advantage of Austria being distracted, but they're unlikely to, because for reasons I'll get into next. Spain and England aren't really interested. It's not in their interest to actually get involved, though Spain have got a potential opportunity to interfere here in the Low Countries and the Netherlands, but I very much doubt they'll want to get into a major conflict with the Austrians and the Catholic League. Now, if we step away from that, let's just have a look at what's going on with England. Apart from an attempt to spread the empire a bit further, they've been fairly passive. They've not really had opportunities to do much. Got a bit of trade down there. They snaffled up another colony in Africa. Another one's got a claim up here. They did actually have ships in the Indian Ocean at one point, but they lost that for some reason I can't remember. Oh, it was an event card. Otherwise, yeah, England doing really well in terms of money and everything, and they're fairly isolated from what's going on in Europe at the moment, so that puts them in an advantageous position geopolitically. If we look at Spain down here, well, technically they're not Spain yet until they absorb Navarre here, but they've actually attacked it and occupied it. In the same year they attacked and occupied these couple of cities left in North Africa. Apart from that, they haven't really done a great deal. A bit of trading there. So we go over to the Ottomans. Now, the Ottomans, they've had terrible problems with stability and stuff. They managed to knock off this little statelet here in Albania, which should allow them to get their milestones for the first milestone for the Balkans. The big problem they've got is their stability has collapsed. They were down at -2 stability anyway, and then that the Comet event card came in. Oh dear, that's caused some damage to the all the player rounds. Everyone lost a level of stability. So the Ottomans are in a worse state. Spain are pretty bad as well. England weren't too badly affected because they had such a high stability, and Austria had a fairly high stability. It wasn't a very pleasant card when it came through. If we look at France, France are in a strong position. They're actually spreading out slowly but surely. Got a bit of problem with religious dissent. There's a little bit of Protestant religion still in northern France that they'll have to get rid of. They've actually got 2 claims now in the New World, which they could start colonies with. You've got Poland over here. Again, they've sort of geared themselves up to taking over the entire of Lithuania. They need a tiny little bit more influence here and a decent bot card that will allow them to do this, and will massively increase their power. We've got finally the Holy Roman Empire, which I've already really discussed. Their main objective in the next few sort of actions and things is to try and gain control. They've really got to make sure that the Protestants aren't in control of any of these elector areas. Electors where they got this little imperial eagle thing here. You're going to lose prestige for that. There's one comment here is, look how crowded things are getting in here. This is on the big extended playmat. If you're playing this on the actual board, you would have had to start stacking counters now. It's getting so crowded in that central area. Right, so that's all the player realms and bots done. If we looked at dynamic NPRs, haven't really done, well, they haven't done anything, to be quite honest. There was an NPR, dynamic NPR spread, but it wasn't for any of the colour and band combinations that I've got on the board. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in terms of the 30 Years' War, and there must be some cards that help the Holy Roman Empire sort this out, because I can't really go attacking every single little statelet that's Protestant. It would take forever, because it's the number of war cubes that you've got limits you to what sort of military stuff you can actually do. Yeah, and that's another thing. Certain nations, that comet card that came round, it caused some advisor and leader losses. So the Ottomans have lost their diplomatic and their administration leader. So that's severely going to restrict what they can do in terms of power cubes. Austria have lost one of their advisors, and Spain have lost one of theirs. So it's going to be a lot of stabilisation and rebuilding, I would think, in the coming turn.